Good morning and welcome to Real Estate with Tracy. My name is Tracy Gerard, your trusted and dedicated realtor. Now on this show, we discuss all things real estate and much more. All right, welcome back. Welcome Stacy Gregory to the show.
Yay!
Stacy, welcome. All right, so Stacy and I have known each other for
A long time.
a long time. Like we were taking college classes at John Tyler Community College.
Probably in 2007.
Yes, in
Yeah.
2000 have branched off to insurance.
Yes.
Okay, and your specialty, one of your specialties is Medicare.
Yes.
All right, we got a lot to discuss today. So let's start here. Tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Stacy Gregory. I've been licensed.
What's the biggest misconception, excuse me, that people have about Medicare?
When I meet with people that are aging into Medicare,
Yes.
they're surprised at their out-of-pocket expenses. I think most people feel like that Medicare should be free or is free, but there are costs associated with Medicare.
I always thought that Medicare was free. Like I thought once you get past a certain age, like you get to 65, then you still have to pay for that?
So Medicare Part A, you pay for it while you're working.
While you were, okay.
So you don't pay for Part A. Part A covers hospitalization, but everybody pays for Part B, which is your outpatient services.
Okay.
And depending on your income, it can range from $270 and so a month, unless you're on assistance through the state. And some, depending on your income, they may pay that for you. But most people pay for their Part B.
Out of pocket?
Out of pocket, yes.
Really?
Monthly. They take it out of your Social Security check every month.
They take it from your Social Security check and what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why are we You don't get no money for Social Security hardly.
You know, some people, but in most cases, they pay less for Medicare than they do for insurance that they've had on their job or they're paying on their own through COBRA. So in most cases, they pay less, but they do pay something for it. There is a cost associated with it.
There's a cost, but it's adjusted.
No.
It's not adjusted.
It's a flat amount unless you're over a certain dollar amount. But most people aren't over that dollar amount. Not the people that I work with.
And they take it from the little money that you get.
It's a lot of people get a lot, like a few $1,000s. For some people, depending on what you earned while you were working, determines what your Social Security
would be, and they take it from
so
there.
if you made a little bit of money working over your working years, then you make a little bit of money on Social Security. But if you've done well for yourself, your income is enough.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. Because I know, like, from where, you know, what I know about Medicare, Medicaid, I really don't know anything about it from what, you know, is, you know, talking to you. But you hear the commercials, Part A, Part B, and all of that. And so that's all kind of confusing.
Yes,
and so
very
what
much
you
so.
do is you sit down with the client and you explain that to them and help them to understand the differences between what will work best for them, because what may work for one person may not work for the other.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So when should someone start planning for Medicare? Or is this something that they should they wait until they turn 65, or is this something that they can start like planning for like before they hit 65?
So you have to enroll in your Medicare Part B 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your birthday, and 3 months after your birthday.
Okay.
So there's a window. You really can't do. You can get the information in advance, but you can't sign up for anything until you're 3 months out from your 65th birthday.
Okay.
And what you want to look for, you have some choices to make. You want to decide if you want to just keep original Medicare and have a drug plan. You want to decide if you want original Medicare, a Medigap policy, or if you want to go with the Medicare Advantage plan, which is called Medicare Part C. So
much.
So what I do with people, I sit down and initially ask them what they have, what they're looking for, and give them all their options. And people make informed decisions based on all the information that they know. I don't really recommend one product over the other. I give them enough information about Medicare so they can make an informed decision for themselves.
Okay, and you are going to the client and you're sitting down with that client and you're explaining this to them? Or
Yes, I can do over-the-phone appointments, like Zoom, but I would rather do in-person appointments. So 98% of all of my appointments are done in person.
That's super cool
And
that you can do that. And why do you do that?
Because I do better in person. I'm a trusted advisor. I look at
that.
all of their doctors. I go through all of their prescriptions. I ask a bunch of questions about, well, what doctors do you see? Is that a doctor that you have to have? What's the most important thing that you need? Are you looking for dental, vision? Do you need transportation? All of those things are important in deciding which plan is best for you. All
right. So there's obviously a lot going on with Medicare. They have a lot of programs. I'm just going to use my mother for example. My mother is in her 70s. If you ask her, she's 39 though. Okay. She's been 39 for the past 20 years.
And holding strong.
Yeah, holding strong, yes. But yeah, so she just discovered that like she has, like she called me and she's like, I can get like, you know, a card or whatever where I can go to Rite Aid and get like Tylenol and stuff like that. And, you know, I get so much per month. And all this time.
She never knew.
She never knew it. Yeah, she never knew until someone like took the time to tell her that that option was available. So what do you see? Like, people are leaving stuff on the table.
Well, I don't know that they would be leaving stuff on the table. I think that the person that helped them enroll did a good job at explaining the plan benefits. Or a lot of people do things over the phone by strangers calling the 800, calling them on the 800 number. But I think when you sit down with someone that's local to the area that can sit down and go through the summary of benefits with you and show you all the different benefits and features of the plan, you'll know what the plan has. And then what I like to do is after the enrollment, follow up with them, ask them if they're having any concerns or problems with seeing doctors or getting prescriptions. Ask them the question, did you use this benefit? Did you know that did you go to the gym yet? Have you seen your dentist? Right. And so I make sure that they don't forget about the benefits that they have.
So with that being said, you keep in contact with your customers.
Yes.
You do. Okay.
And they all have my personal cell phone number.
Wow.
A lot of people text, so I text them, I call them. I have a couple clients in Petersburg that she can't see very well, so anytime she gets mail, I go and read her mail.
Wow,
to let her know,
that's going above and beyond. I love that.
I know, but I like her so much. She's nice to me. And I've been with her since she turned 65, and now she's 80, so it's been a long time.
Oh my God.
And I just help her whenever I can. I say I may be in the area, I'll stop by, and she just has her mail out and I read it, let her know this is just an advertisement, this is important.
That is going above and beyond.
That's what I like to do, because most of my clients remind me of my family, my mother, my aunts, and my uncles. So there's like, they're my people, they're my community, and I like to make sure they have everything they need.
So definitely going above and beyond is important. I do that in my business, but it just kind of sets you apart from just like your average insurance person, because I don't know anyone else who's doing what you are doing, and that is super cool. I want people to know that like you are an expert and you go above and beyond to help your clients.
I do, because I like to sleep at night. I like to know that I've done everything the right way.
I love it.
And I don't, I have, sometimes I have to pass on things. Sometimes I have to tell people, you're good where you are. You don't need to make any changes. This is what you have. I wouldn't do this or that. Keep what you have. So people, sometimes in this, things have changed so much, it's hard to get everything that you need. Like some people want the transportation, the dental, the vision, the free stuff, but then the doctors aren't in the plan. And I tell people, you can't have it all.
Right.
Like, you have to decide what's most important for you. If this doctor is most important, then this is the plan we have to go to, because the doctor's not in the plan that gives you all the things. Right. So I explained to them, you can't get all the things. Yeah. Like, you just find out, and we decide what's most important for you, and we go for that.
Okay. That's awesome. So with that being said, what are some of the mistakes that you see people that are trying to do this on their own and they're trying to sign up?
So I met a lady just the other day. She was retired from the state, so she has retirement benefits. So I went to see her, and we called her HR to see what her benefits were. They explained to her that she had a supplement and what she was paying for it, but she had also signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan, and she signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan. So she had all these things. I said, you don't need that.
Why did you need them all?
You just need this, and what you have through your retirement, you need to cancel these other things, and they need to give you a refund, because you're not 65, so you can't even qualify for this thing. So, and I think another big mistake is people say that I'm not taking any prescriptions, so I'm not going to enroll in a drug plan. but they don't realize that if you don't enroll in the drug plan when you first become eligible and you do it later, you pay a late enrollment penalty for life.
For life?
For life. So it's, for life. So I tell people, even if you're not taking drugs, prescriptions, this is what will happen if you do it later.
Okay.
So
if you're 65 or you're 3 months before 65, go ahead and at least enroll. Even if you're not using the benefits right now, go ahead and enroll.
Yeah, unless you have veterans benefits.
Okay.
Or unless you're getting like your husband's or spouse's plan or from a job, unless you have another form of credible coverage, you should be enrolling in a drug plan because there is penalties associated with that.
I did not know that. That is why we have you on the show, because you are the expert. So for what should a person be doing right now? Let's just say, you have your aging parents, or maybe you're taking care of grandma that raised you or something like that, and they're not, all in their mind or whatever, and you're handling that for them. Are you as a caregiver able to make changes and call and help them?
No, unless you have power of attorney.
You have to have power of attorney to do that.
You can't make those changes, but with me, I do in-home appointments.
Okay.
And if a person, if someone has some issues, I always like to make sure there's someone there, and as a family member,
they're on the appointment with them,
so they can make sure that they understand. And then as long as they're able to sign with the other person there, helping them make the decision, that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
I think it's always best to deal with someone locally, because there are things
that
come up. There are things with doctors, they get bills.
Right.
They don't know that they can appeal, they can file grievances. There's exceptions that can be made for prescriptions, changing the tiers of prescriptions. So if you have a local agent that can meet with you, that knows the doctors and the networks, it's best to do that. Because a lot of times I have clients or meet people that have enrolled over the phone. They call me with issues, and I can't help them because I'm not the agent of record, so I can't call and inquire about the issues that they're having. But if I signed them up, I can call to say, Tracy's having this problem. Can you help me? Tell me what's going on. They will speak to me because I'm on as the agent of record. So I can do that easily. But if they sign up over the phone, they're just really pretty much on their own, calling the 800 numbers, trying to figure it out. So local representation is very important.
Yes. So what are some of the resources that people can visit to learn about? So they're approaching 65 and they just want to learn more about Medicare. What can they do? What resources?
Medicare.gov gives you all the information that you need. And once you do Medicare.gov, if you still need help, call you. Yeah, call me, and we can walk through. Because sometimes I like to show people rather than me just telling them.
Right.
Don't trust what I say. Let me show you. This is what it is. So I tell them where to get the information, where to find it, and then I just reinforce that. See, this is what this says.
Okay.
This is what we need to do, and you just have to decide.
Okay. This was a lot of really, really good information. As you guys can see that Stacy you are an expert in this field. You really are.
For a long time,
You've been doing this for a really long time, and I love your heart, and I love your passion for your clients, and I love the fact that you go above and beyond, because I don't know anyone else who's doing what you are doing. So, if you guys have aging parents, or if you are approaching 65, give Stacy a call. Give Stacy a call. You can ask some questions. She will come visit you and go over any information that you guys need. How can people get a hold of you?
My work number is 804-539-6397, and my website is StacyGregoryInsurance.com. StacyGregoryInsurance.com. And what's your phone number one more time? 804-539-6397.
I love it. Stacy, thank you so much for joining us. Stacy is a sponsor of our show, so you will be seeing a lot of her. And so thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.